Welcome to the complete story series where I take trade paperbacks and single issues and I break them down into digestible bites to help you understand. Then I read them dramatically back to you. All alterations to the panels, text, and images are to prevent copyright problems, and all art is owned by its respective companies. If you enjoy these little dramatic motion movies that we make about your favorite comics, please consider subscribing. We really would appreciate it. It all began when Batman met Gotham and Gotham Girl. Gotham died in the battle and Gotham Girl was stricken with a permanent fear state due to Psycho Pirate. Then he was removed from the board by Bane. Batman knew that the girl needed to be saved, and to do that he would need to get Psycho Pirate to reverse his power over her. So Batman went to Bane's home and defeated Bane and took Psycho Pirate. Psycho Pirate actually helped Bane though. He gave him a sense of happiness that didn't require the venom. He made him brave. Without the pirate, Bane needed his venom, and his life began to slip away. So he has come to show Batman why he doesn't want to mess with Bane. On day one, someone hopped over the gates into Arkham Asylum. Inside, Batman was looking at Psycho Pirate without his mask as a guard pulled a gun preparing to shoot Batman in the head. Luckily, Bronze Tiger leaped in to stop the gunman, and as the gunman smiled, Batman saw "I am Bane" written on his teeth before breaking them in and putting him down. Batman thanks Bronze Tiger for ending this, and he tells Batman, "It's not over. It's far from it. Coming off of venom is like trying to scrape at it with a rusted knife. He won't stop until he has the pirate back." Batman took Dick, Duke, Jason, and Damian to Bad Burger, where he wasn't happy that they were offering to jokerize his fries. He tries to tell them to stay away from this. Bane is his problem. But all four boys fight against that while arguing over the toys that Damian got. Fed up with them making fun of the way that he eats a burger with a fork and knife, Bruce stands up demanding that they stay clear of this. Later that night, Batman lands on the rooftop with the bat signal to talk to Gordon. But it wasn't Gordon who shone the bat signal into the sky. Instead, it was Catwoman. Batman tells her to step away from this, get far, far away. Because Catwoman is the one who helped to break Bane. Batman knows that she is a target. Gordon runs up to arrest Catwoman and she gets away. And Gordon tells Batman that he could have stopped her, and Batman agrees. "I could have." And he leaps off the roof himself. That night, Batman decides to grab Gotham Girl, Claire, and bring her to the Batcave for safekeeping. But as they enter the Batcave, she gasps as they see three people hanging. Damian, Dick, and Jason hung up by nooses and blood smeared on their chests, stating, "I am Bane." Later that night, Bronze Tiger hears someone pounding at his door. He hops out of bed groggy as someone calls out room service. He opens the door and takes a blast to the stomach. A few more hours go by and Superman arrives at the Fortress of Solitude where he finds Batman is there already. He asks how bad. And Batman doesn't respond as he walks into the main room where he has Dick, Jason, and Damian sealed up in tubes. He explains that if they wake up, they're gonna go after Bane again, and if they do, they won't wake up again. He explains that the process of fixing Claire will take 4 days, so he has to keep everyone safe for 4 days. Superman looks at Batman. "Bruce, it's me or him, no one else." Superman tells him, "Okay," and Batman leaves. Meanwhile, as the evening approaches, Claire is brought into a room with the Psycho Pirate, and they hold his mask over his face. They tell him to tell her that she's brave. Tell her or die, and they hold a gun to his head. Elsewhere, Selina is looking over the old orphanage from her past when a stranger walks over and opens fire on her back. Back with Gordon, a man with a gun approaches from behind as he drops his pipe. As he picks it up, he turns and shoots his gun. He drops the gunman and then he sees 2 more thugs are there to kill him. Luckily, Duke jumps in and together they drop them. They think everything's fine until the wall behind them crumbles and 2 hands reach out. That night, as Batman is perched above the asylum on the clock tower, he hears nothing but the caw of crows until a flare is lit, and on a nearby rooftop he sees Bane, with Gordon, Duke, Bronze Tiger, and Catwoman all tied up prisoners. Batman lands in front of Bane and he looks at him. "My offer is this. The pirates for the cop of the boy, the tiger, and the cat. Do you accept?" The rain begins to hit the back of Batman's head as he stares down Bane. "No." And Bane eyeballs him. "No!" He reaches out for Batman. "Do you know who I am?" He throws Batman into the walls, watching it crumble behind him. "Do you think that you can come into my home and take my life away from me? Do you think you can run away and hide in this city? Do you think you can say no to me? Do you know who I am?" He begins to pummel Batman with his mighty strength. "I am not a joke. I am not a riddle. I am not a bird or a cat or a penguin." He dodges as Batman tries to fight back. "I am not a scarecrow, a plant, or a puppet." And then he puts a massive boot into Batman's face. "I am not your broken friend or your regretful teacher." He raises up both his fists to put Batman down, and as Batman spits up blood, Bane lifts him up. "I am not some rich boy playing dress up." He then throws Batman into the wall so hard that you can hear the walls cracking and breaking behind the weight. "I am Bane!" He grabs Batman by his shirt. "Now, give me the pirate!" And as he coughs up his own blood, Batman tells him, "No." Bane throws him aside, and as he grabs Batman again, he looks at him with his fist clenched. "This is how you die, Batman." And Batman, with blood all over his face, responds like a man who isn't giving up. "Bane, shut up." Bane knocks Batman out and dials up one of his thugs on the phone. "Kill the hostages. Batman won't give up the pirate." But instead of a man about to kill the people on the other end, he hears someone tell him, "I'm sorry." Bane snaps at them. "Who is this?" "Mr. Bird is currently unavailable, but I can take a message." And as she says that, Catwoman is scrawling with her nails into the man's chest. "I am Cat." Realizing his plan to force Batman into giving up the pirate is shot, Bane walks to the front door of Arkham, and with a single kick, he knocks the steel doors in. And he walks in. Bane walks into the main hall and he's stopped by Two-Face. You see, Batman offered the inmates of Arkham a deal. If they stop Bane, he'll improve their stays. But on the other hand, Two-Face wants to carve out Batman's spleen. So he asks, "What are you offering for helping you instead of hindering you?" Bane looks at him and he punches him in the gut and across the face. "Pain! I offer pain!" Bane then proceeds to blow through inmate after inmate, and meanwhile, deep in Arkham, Alfred goes over the situation with Bruce. "You freed the inmates and you armed them with weapons. Take the girl and run, Master Wayne." He killed Gotham. He broke Claire. He shot Selina. He hanged the boys. He hanged my son from a rock in a cave. I'm not running. Madness. This is a madness. Back with Bane, he shatters Mr. Freeze's attempt, tears apart Firefly soon, and he throws Flamingo aside. One by one, he systematically defeats each villain, telling them, "The pain was gone! I was done! I was done with this!" And Calendar Man stands in front of him. "You were never done. Neither was he. You'll never stop." He puts his fingers to his head, and he says, "Bang," before falling over. Tune in tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. In the final room, a giant steel door lays in front of him, and the Riddler walks in offering to crack it. He allows Bane entrance, telling Bane, "Say hello to Batman for me. Tell him I still remember our war of jokes and riddles. I still remember what he did." Bane walks in to find Batman standing there in front of him. Both men make a fist, and as they tighten it up, they realize that it's time to finish this. It's time for it to end. Bane looks at him. "This is the end, Batman!" And with one punch, Batman is on the ground. Do you know how many times I've heard that? Rest in peace, Batman. There's no escape, Batman. Time to die, Batman. Every night, over and over and over, for so many years. This is the end, Batman. Every damn night. And yet, I'm still here. And with that, he gets up prepared for another punch. "I'm going to kill you every damn night." Bane begins to beat down Batman, crushing his face, stomping on his back. Batman's blood dripping from Bane's gloves and mixing in with Bane's own blood, which has been spilled. But while Batman is getting beat down and destroyed, he swears he hears a voice deep down in his mind. The voice of his mother, calling for Bruce to come home, as his death is approaching. With everything happening between him and Bane, Batman knew that this was his death. It was the end, and the voice of his mother was comforting him. Then he thought of Claire, the girl that he needed to save, and he whispered it. "Yeah, I know. You're Bane, but I think you forget." And then Batman arose and headbutted Bane with everything. "I'm Batman!" Bane hit the ground in a pool of his own blood, and Batman collapsed as well, thinking about his mother's voice. For a moment, he believed that you were done. For a moment, he left himself vulnerable. After a moment, Bane finally understood that though you fall, though you want to fall, no, you need to fall, you're never done. You vowed to win a war. The girl was your war to win. So you did this, suffered all of this, for the possibility of. And then on the verge of death, he saw himself leaning on his mother's shoulder. Victory. But Batman sits up. No. And in his thoughts, in a place beyond this plane of existence, he stands. "I'm sorry, Mother, but no, that's not right. This had nothing to do with victory or winning a war. The girl needed help, so I helped her. That's all there is to it. That's all it's ever been." She stood up and she reached out for his hand. "Bruce Thomas Wayne, my little boy all grown up. You know, you don't need a good death for me to be proud of you." Batman spits his own blood out of his mouth as he stands there. "Yes, Mother, I know." And that concludes Tom King's original storyline of I Am Gotham, I Am Suicide, I Am Bane. This is the whole thing coming together. Now, there is a lot that happened in this comic that we just didn't translate well into a video. A lot of stuff that relates Bane to Batman, showing how they are so much alike, yet so different from each other. Nurture versus nature, that kind of an environment. What could make you a hero versus a villain? And that is in the book, but like I said, it didn't translate to the video, so I highly recommend reading this yourself because I tried to bring it back to all of the the images and the imagery that was happening at the end with the mother situation, but I don't think I did this story justice. So, don't forget to subscribe to keep up to date on all the stories that are happening in DC Rebirth with Batman and everything else that's happening in DC Rebirth, and you can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Comicstorian where we can talk about this. I'll see you next time right here.